Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so figured I'd do a therapy session. Just sitting here meditating, in a good mood, nothing negative on my mind, but I was meditating on a point, as I realized that I use my voice a lot, and, sometimes you may hear me misspeak, or you may hear me um, say certain things, and maybe they come off the wrong way. And what I was meditating on is when we have these raw thoughts, like, certain things you would never say. And you know what? And it's like these things that you would never say are, redundantly speaking, never said because you know that those things won't be received well. And also, too, probably bring back the wrong consequences for you if you say them. And so what I'm meditating on as I'm sitting here is, well, how do you get to a point where you can think certain things and identify certain things without welcoming such bad energy with what it is you would otherwise say? Like, for example, I realized in just meditating here that a lot of the things that I believe that comes to mind for me when in terms of things that I would not say aloud are usually witty things, like comedy things for myself. It's like things that, like, that joke would go too far, or that would not be received well, or that would hurt someone's feelings, right? But the reason why my mind jumps to identifying things in that way is because of the norms that I grew up with. It was because of the sense of humor that was around me, right? It's because of the way maybe people thought in some of the comedy routines that I paid attention to growing up, or you just identify why your mind goes to certain places that would otherwise, if be revealed, would bring forth consequences or energy that you don't want. So you gotta hide those thoughts. And my thing is, why do I need those thoughts in the first place? As I start to unravel the things that come to my mind and things that help me identify what it is I'm looking at, as I realize there's a lot that we've been trained to believe or trained to understand, or norms that help us identify what it is we're looking at, things that we've derived from teachings that have been instilled in us that help us navigate through this world. Some of those things are necessary to keep, but other things I'm learning don't bring forth the things that I welcome in my life. And so as I struggle with my mental health, and what I struggle with is the things that would allow you to initiate responses. Like, let's say it's time to do something, let me get up and do it. For whatever reason, I won't allow myself to do that. So what I need to do in my quest to make myself do the right things is try to figure out what went wrong. And in identifying what went wrong, I start to realize that these are these things that are there that I didn't necessarily put there. You know what I mean? Are norms that help me identify what I'm looking at based on the things that I've learned and seen from individuals who may not necessarily think like me, may not necessarily equate, their mind in the way that I do. So as I learn that I struggle with certain things, it's like, well, shoot, I need to unlearn some of these things that would otherwise bring forth the energy that I don't want. If I'm gonna find myself saying I can't say that, then what is it that would otherwise bring me to think those thoughts in the first place? I don't need those thoughts. They don't bring the energy I want. Essentially is what I'm saying. If I look at somebody, I'm just gonna use this as an example. If I look at somebody and I see them acting up in a way that, they can't seem to get right. Let's say they're fumbling all over themselves. And I look at them and say the worst of words. Look at that idiot. They're messing up. Why is it that my mind automatically looks at them and says those words in identifying what it is that they're doing wrong or what it is that I see there? How come it goes automatically to something that would otherwise hurt them in visualizing and seeing and identifying what I see? You know what I'm saying? That's learned behavior. I had to hear someone else belittle someone else, in my mind anyway, as I'm equating it, and see that behavior and learn that behavior to then turn my attention to look at something else and say, okay, I identify it and equate to it in such a way that would automatically hurt them or automatically make fun of them or automatically, you know what I mean? Like as a child, for example, when you think about racism, kids don't see each other as skin color and stuff like that. They don't know, until someone tells them they're different color, until someone tells them they're different. They may see a different color, but it's not equated as different otherwise to just be a color. Okay, ooh, it's a different color, I'm a different color, ooh, and then they keep on playing. So it's when they learn that they're different and why they're different, and in the skepticisms that separate them, and the different various things, history that make people not want to be close to one another, those type of things are learned. And then you come to the conclusion, okay, this type of people, that type of people, whatever you may. I'm thinking it's important to unlearn a lot of this stuff, because some of this stuff that we know and love, I'm finding, is also tied to some of the things that are not so good about us. Some of the things that make us do things that ultimately walk us into situations that hurt us, or walk us in, that end up moonwalking us, so to speak, into harmful situations. It's because we've learned behavior that otherwise puts us in positions to welcome consequences that we don't even really want. That's why independent thought is so important. That's why meditating is so important, because you get to dig deep and realize things like this. It's like, yo, some of this learned behavior, it is good for me, but others kind of coerces me into circumstances that make me deserving of the worst of things. When I look and identify this person as stupid, bumbling fool, now I'm deserving of a punch in the face. Maybe not literally, because I don't want you thinking you should probably punch at people, but I'm just saying, like, now you're deserving of being looked at as a jerk. I don't want to be seen as a jerk because I'm looking at somebody making mistakes and I identify it as such. I'm identifying what I see, but I identify it in such a way that would hurt their feelings. So now I'm not real unless I express this learned behavior of identifying something I see in a hurtful manner. No, we gotta unlearn that. We all want to be authentic in life, but if the things that we do are harmful, and we have time, if we struggle with those very things, then this is somewhere that we need to be looking inside ourselves. I believe it's somewhere nestled in the learned behaviors that we haven't realized need to be unlearned. Those are those places that I think in our minds that we struggle with. Things that we do that don't help us, or things that we do that ultimately bring back consequences that we don't want, or things that we say that ultimately make us look a certain way and we're not appreciative of how that comes about, those consequences that come with that. Lack of self-control. Gotta unlearn certain things, man. And I think it's difficult as pulling teeth for a lot of people, identifying those things while they're busy chasing paper, busy living their dreams, busy raising their families, busy. They're too busy to do this. So they never ever get a chance to stop and say, yo, I'm not actually intent on hurting somebody when I identify certain things a certain way, or I'm not intent on bringing back the worst of energy when I do what comes naturally to me, and in saying certain things or behaving certain ways. how do I unlearn this behavior so I can actually receive the consequences I want? So I can be seen the way I want to be seen. So that when I'm real about what I say, it can be palatable for who it is I'm trying to communicate with. Instead of finding myself having to hold my tongue, say it a fake way. Why does that have to be the fake way? Why does it have to be negative energy that we derive to, that we go to immediately when identifying certain flaws? Don't we see that that's the same thing that hurts us? Don't we see that that's the same stuff that brings back all of the hell and the hate that we hate to see coming at us in the world? I look at the pain on people's faces a lot of times. It's just a reflection of all the stuff that's come at them over the years. And a lot of times they've unwillingly welcomed those things into their lives in these ways. Not even knowing it. Completely unaware. You got all that hate because of all that you put out. All them times you were indifferent, didn't care, I don't give a damn. All them times when you said something catty to somebody, something nasty to somebody, hurt their feelings, made an enemy somewhere, stepping on somebody some kind of way, whatever it is. All that stuff they wear on their faces a lot of times. A lot of it ain't nothing to do with what they control. Some things are outside of your control, for sure. But I think that you understand that when you first wake up to life, that certain things are out of your control. I think that's the importance of meditation. That's the importance of unlearning certain norms. It's the importance of trying to be a free thinker. Because you do have to surrender to certain things out here in this world. At some point in time, we just gotta move on, I guess, man. As I will with this conversation. I think I've said enough in that vein. I let you guys in on my little meditation space. I got my little candle lit, and it's good energy here right now. I'm just trying to figure out a way to be authentic in a way that I can appreciate while bringing back the energy and the consequences that I want. Some of the things that I struggle with in my life is my behavior, making the right decisions, not second guessing myself, overcoming my anxieties, and doing things that help myself. I gotta unlearn certain things in order to overcome that, I feel. It ain't enough to just address today's problems. I gotta get to the root of what it is that would cause me to find myself in certain situations. So I think that's what this is about for me. I think that's what a lot of this era is about for this particular person. It's just, all of what I've said here. And, I'm on a journey. I can't say that I'm where I need to be right now, or that I'm super satisfied with where I'm at. Judging by how things are looking, there's still more to do. Still more troubled waters ahead for myself. But given what I've already been through and how much strength I've been able to find in meditation moments like this, and in prayer, and the people that have helped along the way, certainly a lot of that, I'm pretty confident that I can keep going forward, And that's something I didn't think I could say maybe 10 months ago. You watch some of them old therapy sessions, that wasn't where I was at. But I think I got the same stresses, but I think I just handled them a bit more peacefully. The weed definitely helps. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't. It's helped a lot. But I think more than anything, it's been about just intent on not just sitting and sulking in sadness. It's about funneling into this camera, whether it's a loss or a win, doing the little art thing that I'm doing, keeping that process consistent. Doing the playlist thing when I'm inspired to do so, which is very often. And that's what's keeping me going at the moment. I feel stagnant a little bit in my life at this moment. Boredom doesn't really kick in for me at all. I don't really get bored, but somewhere nestled in between bored and just not quite moving, not quite active enough. I think that has a lot to do with basketball not being present between the hours of 6 and 10 every other night. But I think more than anything, it's just a point where you feel like you're on a road. It's almost like Forrest Gump when he was jogging, and you just get to a point where you're ready to turn around because you just gone so far. You just been running for so long until it's like, okay, what am I doing this for? That's kind of where I feel like I'm at on this road. I'm not sad anymore. I'm not demanding of anything change. I'm not really like anxious. I'm just kind of here right now. And I don't know if that's a good thing, you know. I haven't felt like that in many, many years. Many years. You know, and like I said, I got plenty to consider. I got plenty on my table. Got plenty to do. But just on a personal level, I just feel like I'm just running and trying to just kind of just out here, you know what I mean? Just literally just nothing's going on, really. And so I appreciate that to a degree, you know what I mean? In this moment, I appreciate peacefulness, you know? I understand that peacefulness in your home is not something everybody has. You know, freedom. This is not nothing I take lightly at all. But just on my personal journey, you know, it's just, this is where I am. So, you know, it's good to be alive. That's the most important thing. Of all of it, you're happy to, even in your most bland moments, you can honestly appreciate life, because at least you're present to feel what you're feeling, and you know that moment is fleeting, just like every other. So take it for what it's worth, man. That's what I got to say. This ain't gonna be that long of a therapy session today. I just wanted to turn on the camera and kind of get that concept out, see if it makes any sense whatsoever when it plays back. But, you know, my intent is to just revamp certain thoughts that just, it's not even thoughts, to be honest with you. It's just certain identification processes, I guess is what you could say. Like when I look at something, where my head goes, why it goes to those certain places, and how best to rearrange those thoughts to bring back the type of energy that I would want if said aloud. You know what I mean? Because when you're a communicator, you want your energy to be conveyed right no matter what's coming out of your mouth. You want people to get from you what you intend if the sound is off. Like if it's mute and you don't see nothing but my face, ironically we're in the dark, but you get the point. I want you to be able to understand what it is that I'm conveying through my eyes. I don't want you to see negative, hurtful thoughts in my eyes while my mouth is moving in a positive way. And so while I know that that's not the case for myself, because I am intent on being a better person, there's a lot of growth to do. There's a lot of growth to do. Plenty. So I think that's the journey, man. I think that's what it's about. It's just getting better on the inside. So that's what I got, man. BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.